Tell me that you'll always be there, be there, be there.
Hey guys, it's Kiramarieart here and I'm back with another video. Today I will be doing an art tour of all the drawings and paintings I done in 2019 from the beginning of the year to the end. In this video, I'll be going through all of my illustrations. I would say 2019 was a year of a lot of discovery and also feeling lost when it came to my art and what I should do to keep me motivated. I was not doing as much drawing in the spring and summer phase. However, I really found my passion on why I want to make art and make such beautiful pieces of work that I didn't even know I could do. So here is my 2019 art tour part 1, my illustrations. So this piece I did in January. It's a piece based on the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think this was after I had watched the movie with my family and I guess I got some inspiration to do a drawing of Miles Morales. I do like this piece. Him being in the foreground and the background being blurred makes him stand out a lot. For the background, I wanted it to be spotted city lights, like he was in the city, and to also give it that kind of 3D effects like it looked like in the movie. And so overall, I really do like this painting. This one was just a random drawing I done in January. I didn't really have an inspiration for this one. I just wanted to draw a guy relaxed on a pillow and ended up with this piece. He's laying on a pillow with a lollipop in his mouth, playing games on his phone. Pizza, crisps and drinks and video game cases are surrounding him. I have shown people this drawing and people said it doesn't look like he has a lollipop in his mouth and look like his cheek was just really big and his teeth look strange. So of course, if I were to redo this one, I'll make sure it looks like a lollipop. This is another Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse drawing. This one I would say really links into the movie very well with the Earth in the background and him in space, maybe going to a different universe. This one took a lot of time to do. I drew an outline of him and then colored him in, then took away the outline to make it look like he was 3D. The background was so difficult as well, as I had no idea what I wanted to do for it, but ended up putting in Earth as it would make more sense. This is definitely one of my best illustrations I've done last year. So beautiful with the colors and the spotted effects for the background, making it look like stars or other planets. Overall, a drawing I very much enjoyed making. Let me know if you guys have seen the movie and if you enjoyed it. This is an original character I made up called Emma. I drew her in 2018 before and I drew her again last year. She's a little girl that is going on an adventure in the sea. I haven't really made a proper story around her yet, like why she can breathe underwater, why is she underwater and so on. Though I think she's really cute and I did have fun drawing this one. There are some things I could change just looking at this picture now, like the ear, the way her face is shaped and maybe her hair. But this was a really fun and cute piece, so I'm not really bothered by it. This was a piece I made in March and it was meant to be a part of an event called Fairy Feb, I think it's called. It's an event that you do in February where you draw fairies every day for the whole month. It's similar to Inktober where you only draw Halloween things throughout the whole month. Out of all the fairies I had drawn, this was one of the best and prettiest. Her outfit is basic, however something about her seems mysterious but gentle at the same time. I called her Jojo, as that's the name that came to my head while I was looking at her and drawing her. Maybe you might see Jojo popping up again in 2020. Stay tuned. This is part of another drawing event, but it's in June called Kaiju June. It's based off the Japanese word kaiju but replaced with June at the end. It's the same premise as the others, draw a monster or any type of creature throughout all of June. I had drawn 3 monsters which looked cute, however I wanted to show you my first one called Honey Monster. A monster with honey draped all over him. It was cool to do this event as it helped me get out of my comfort zone and draw something I really wouldn't draw. So I let my mind loose and made up a monster, which did take a while to draw, as well as the background. I wanted the background to be a forest, so I painted the trees, grass, and made a cave on the sides, as that's where the monsters would reside. Another piece in June, and I called this Living in Wonderland. A girl on top of a world and other plants around her, with some flowers and plants sprouting from the corners of the image, as I love plants. I didn't have a particular image as to what I wanted to do for this, so I let my mind go wild. I made her top a rainbow because 1, I like rainbows, and 2, it was Pride Month, so I thought it would be pretty cool to do that. She isn't really based on anybody, she's just a girl who's living her best life. Another painting I did in June, and this was after I had watched the 2019 version of Aladdin the 3rd time. I absolutely loved that movie. If you'd like to see my review on the movie, I will link my video on it down below that leads you to my second channel, Life with Kiramarieart. I was inspired, so I decided to draw Princess Jasmine with a sword and carpet by her side while the castle is in the background. Drawing the background was so tough as I had to look at images on Google so I can get the best results for me drawing the castle, which took a lot of time. I also did a long canvas, which is very new for me as I tend to do square canvases, so I'm happy that I pushed out of my comfort zone. Looking at the detail of Jasmine, there are some things that are off, like her arms and how I wasn't paying attention to her outfit as some colors got mixed in together. Though it was great and fun when I was doing it, so I'm not completely bothered with it. But again, of course, if I were to redo the drawing again, I would make her proportions better. This is a commission I did for a music producer called Deuce Beats, or you may know him as Music Tech Training Center or MTTC on YouTube. I do his album artwork for most of his singles, and this was one I did for one of his songs called Tell Me, which you can find on Spotify and other music streaming platforms. He wanted a face but with no color, so I used a reference to draw the side profile so I could get the proportions right and gave him some short locks for his hair. I did the image plain but decided to add a splash of color to make it more lively as it would fit the song very well, and also to add color to the skin. And the result came out amazing. If you're interested in checking out his music, his YouTube and other links like social media will be below in the description. After a time away from art, I had gotten the motivation to draw again, and I did a portrait illustration of an elf. I didn't know what to call her, but I just went with the flow and drew whatever came to my mind. At this time, I finally downloaded more Procreate brushes as I haven't done that before, and I was experimenting with the new tools. I wanted this piece to look very soft with the colors and how I drew her body and the detailing of her face. She seems very warm, and I had actually done a video on this girl, so you can check it out on my YouTube channel. This one I called The Girl with the Long Plait. I was going off a reference of a girl with the side of her body facing us so I can get the proportions right, and then went into making her face, hair and outfit and all the colors. I used another new brush tool to create this piece. I love it so much, although if I could change anything, I would change the hair and forehead as it doesn't look right. It looks kind of weird. But she is so pretty and gives me a Princess Jasmine from Aladdin vibe, but also Shanti from Jungle Book vibes too. I had so much fun doing this. I wasn't trying to make anything perfect with this one. I was just experimenting and it turned out great. We are now in December and I called this drawing Swagged Out. I again was experimenting and expanding my skills of drawing full bodies. The way I was able to make one leg look like it was behind the other and that she was crouched and make the clothing drape down with the creases. I loved coloring her in. It was one of my favorite pieces to actually color in, to be honest with you. and the process was not time consuming at all. It was enjoyable and I love this one. I was going off of a photo for this piece, which I will show you here. I wanted to see if I could do this pose as it looked so complex to me, but ended up looking fantastic. I didn't want her to have any shadows and I wanted her to kind of just look 2D, although I did put some shadows in her skin, but not for her clothing. With her outfit, I used a multitude of brushes to give off different effects and make the background a weird abstract look. I named her Samurai Jackie, going off of the TV show Samurai Jack that I used to watch when I was a kid. For this one, this is a girl going out on the town. It's okay, it's not my favorite. I did have a good time making this one, but looking at it, I'm not extremely happy with it. I don't know what it is and I don't know why, but there's something about it that doesn't scream out at me. Though colouring in her outfit and her hair was probably the most fun thing I did on her. I haven't named this one, and I think I was inspired by these book covers. I could be wrong, but I think I was inspired by these book covers. I don't like the face and the head shape, and even parts of the clothing too. I love the concept, however, it's not my best. But again, I wasn't trying to make it my best. When I come to my November and December drawings, I decided to let go of trying to make my drawings the best and just be free to do what I want and be in the moment. To experiment is very important, and I feel so much freer to not feel like, oh, it's not good enough, when in actuality, it's all about the process. How are you going to evolve and get better skilled and know what you can do if you can't do it, if you haven't tried it, or if you're too scared to do it? So what I'm going to do is push down those barriers and just be able to have my mind be free and come up with new creative things that I can execute. If it doesn't come out as well as I wanted it, that's fine. At least I know I've done it, and if I want to try again, that particular piece, I know I can work on it. This was meant to be me on Christmas Day, although I did this drawing before Christmas. Everyone I saw on Instagram were doing Christmas themed posts, and I thought, why not join in the fun? I made the background with watercolor so it looks soft, so the girl can stand out more. One of my best illustrations I done last year, and I would like to do more in this style. This one is called Ready for a Night Out. The same style as the previous drawing, with the background being watercolor. I was being spontaneous and I made a bedroom and added decor, and her doing the kneading pose a lot of girls do on Instagram. She's so cute and her hair and outfit looks so stylish, and I would like to draw her again in 2020. This is my last drawing of 2019. I wanted to draw a boy and a girl, as I do have trouble drawing men and also drawing two people in one picture. I made this picture black and white originally and was so pretty and I loved it so much. However, eventually I colored it in for it to be used for Deuce Beat's new latest song, Promise. This is the colored version. The colors are absolutely gorgeous and the shading and background make it so beautiful. This is definitely my #1 favorite piece of 2019, period. So lovely, so warm and so intimate, and goes very well with his song Promise. Again, I will link his socials down below so you can check them out. I had gone through a lot when it came to my art last year. Me and my dad tend to do a planning session every so often where we sit down and talk out our plans for the month. And I didn't really have a proper goal, so I was quite depressed. My dad sat me down and gave me some words of encouragement, but also being real with me and asking questions like, why do you do art? What is the passion? If you want to sell products of your creations, what would make them stand out, and so on. Basically, the tough questions I don't tend to ask myself. So I took everything he said in a positive light and went on to create an abundance of pieces of art I didn't think I would do. I made so much during the autumn and winter time of 2019, and I am so proud of myself. Sometimes you need someone to sit you down and have a real talk about what it is that motivates you and why you are doing the things you're doing. I have found my answers and I would like to share them with you in my second part of my 2019 art tour video. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this art tour as much as I did, and I think it's always very important to look back on your work and see how much you have progressed. You just have to keep pushing your limits and you will see results. See you in my next videos. Bye guys.